Talking about bangers. Oh my God. Cocks out, Vaseline out, baby oil out, cocoa butter out. Let's stroke together. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and bust. Drake is headlining all 3 blood clot days of Wireless Festival. Yes, you heard it. Wireless Festival, the premier nigger festival in London, has got Drake headlining all 3 days. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Sunday, Saturday, Friday. On the Friday, he's headlining alongside Party Next Door with a special best guest being Summer Walker. On the Saturday, he's headlining with The Mandem. And you know what that means. Probably Skepta, probably Dave, probably J Hus, maybe Lancey Foe, maybe Len, maybe Fumigaro, maybe YT, right? You know who it's going to be. And on a Sunday, it's Drake featuring Burna Boy and Vybz Kartel, making his return to London after many, many, many years and recently been released from prison. Yo, I'm not too sure what's going to be a bigger draw. I'm not too sure what's a bigger draw, especially in London. I'm not too sure what's the bigger draw. Vybz Kartel on the Sunday or the opening day with Drake and Party Next Door Summer Walker. Honestly, if you people knew how much love Vybz Kartel has in London, in the UK in general, Vybz Kartel is basically Drake before Drake in the UK. He's huge here. He's massive. He could definitely do an arena in the UK and sell it out, for sure. He's such a big draw here. So it's going to be really interesting to see the mix of people. The mix of people is going to be interesting to see on the Sunday. You're going to have like Afro beats, Afro house, whatever Amapiano people that like Burna Boy. You're going to have Drake fans, and you're going to have bashment people who love fucking Vybz Kartel. It's going to be such an interesting mix because most of the time, Wireless is like, I'd say Wireless's appeal is mostly kids. Like they usually have a lot of like younger artists coming up, the Playboy Cartis, all those type of people who go there, ASAP Rockies and stuff over the years, and a few other up and coming London acts or UK acts. So it's generally a kiddie festival. The previous years have been full of children. I've sometimes watched the live streams that they put on I think the live streams, they usually do them on Twitch, if I'm not mistaken. Usually the Wireless live streams are on Twitch, and I've watched them a few times, and when they pan to the crowd, like, whoa, I'm glad I didn't go because legit, some of the people in the crowd look like they're 17, maybe 18 years old. So it's a lot of children. So it's going to be interesting to see the mix of kids who usually go to Wireless every year, who are also lovers of fucking Drake, plus all of the, mature people like myself who are going to be into watching people like Party Next Door, the Vybz Kartel, Burna Boy and shit, and whoever the Mandem's going to be. So I'm hyped. I am hyped. I'm hyped. Wireless is saying it's the first time ever they've done this, which makes sense as well, because I think Drake's the only person you could do this with in terms of a non-UK person. I think he's the best artist to do this with because Drake has an incredibly large and huge and enthusiastic fan base here in London, or in the UK in general. He's always shown love to people here in the UK. Obviously the Top Boy thing is a big deal, but just collaborations coming out in certain people's performances. Everyone still remembers when he popped out for gigs that one time. That was a fucking crazy situation or crazy performance. So I'm definitely not surprised that he was roped in for this because he's legit the only person who could probably command this level of attention. And I think he's going to do a great job, especially the Mandem one. I think the Mandem one will be a really good one because effectively you could imagine it turning into a little bit like a real life, a performance version. Do you remember that time when Kanye was performing here in the UK and he just told all the goons to come out and they were all over on stage just standing there as he was playing records from Yeezus? I think it'll be like that, but they will be performing. So it'll be really sick if he's able, because I think there's some people online that haven't liked the Mandem, the term Mandem, or the fact that he's headlining all 3 days. I think a lot of people feel like a UK person should probably get that, should get that opportunity. But again, it is Drake, right? He is one of the biggest artists in the world, if not one of the biggest. So the exception needs to be made for this particular one. And the fact that he's so tapped into UK music and, European music in general, I feel like he'll do this thing justice. I feel like he'll make sure to have the right people on stage to supplement him during the random thing, so that it's not just him, and he'll give the stage up because he does it a lot anyway. Even with his records, he ropes people in. So I won't be surprised to see a Skepta, JME, Lancey Foe, Len, all these type of up and coming people who are smashing at the moment. Like even just the whole conglomerate. Like maybe he might have the conglomerate playing there completely. You never know. So don't be surprised if that particularly does happen. So I'm really looking forward to that. I think tickets go on sale, general release Wednesday or something, I heard. But the dates for the festival are 11th to the 13th of July, 2024. It's going to be an absolute roadblock. It's always a roadblock and a sellout anyway, Wireless, because they do a good job of like getting over American acts that a lot of people don't probably want to see individually. That's what I feel like anyway. I feel like Wireless is good value for money, because if you don't want to pay £40 to see, I don't know, Ray Shremmerd back in the day, right? You can see Ray Shremmerd alongside other artists, so you get more value for money. So I feel like that's why it does really well. But I feel like this particular lineup will do really well because it's Drake, post Beef, post this, this new album that just came out. Everyone's gonna want to hear that. Also, it's gonna be sick. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really fucking looking forward to it. It's gonna be absolutely incredible. I can't wait. I'm definitely gonna try and get a ticket. As per usual, I'm not gonna bubble with the whole general release, like trying to run for it. I'm just gonna wait until last minute and get it on Ticket Swap. People always drop out and sell their tickets anyway. There's no such thing as a sellout. If I can't get it, with some level of ease, I'm just gonna wait until the day before and purchase it like a normal person would, because there's never been a moment or a time in my life where I haven't been able to get a ticket for something. You know what I mean? There's always tickets available. You just gotta be ready. Obviously a day before with the money in hand, ready to flip and go. So I can't wait. I really can't wait. Drake at Wireless headlining all 3 days for the first time ever. One artist, 3 different set lists. It's going to be a fucking vibe, honestly. The Vybz Kartel thing on Sunday alone is going to be wild. I'm also curious to see, will Vybz Kartel come back again for Carnival? Because he's here, I think, currently doing media and press. I wonder if he'll come back again in August for Carnival. Because if he does, if he comes back again for Carnival and he pops up on a random one at one of those stages, God almighty, if the world boss happens to pop up at one of those stages during Carnival, not in a Carnival, it's gonna be a shutdown thing. Like it's gonna be a shutdown thing. I swear on my life, it's gonna be crazy out there. I'm really looking forward to it. But it's only me looking forward to it, because there've been some very not so enthusiastic posts on social media regarding Drake headlining all 3 days. So I'm gonna read some of the reactions from Drake headlining that have had people up in a bit of a tizzy. So let's see what people are saying. First person one says he runs a UK when he needs to check balance. Okay, cool. Another one says, as much as this is lit, I'll be there no matter what. How the hell has the UK headliners been reduced to the mandem in our own hood? I think this is a unique situation. And I also think looking at it that negatively or being that cynical about it isn't really the way to go. I don't think this was done as a slight to UK artists. I think this is just more so a unique opportunity to get someone like a Drake to do something like this and do it in an interesting way. And it wouldn't surprise me if he proposed this. It wouldn't surprise me if he proposed this idea of splitting the state or splitting the event or the thing across like this. So it would kind of work a little bit better and to kind of, give a little bit back to the quote unquote UK scene. I don't think this is a sad indictment of the UK scene. If anything, he's the biggest artist out. He can command this if he wanted to. And the fact that he's sharing the stage with people from here goes a long way too. Do you know what I mean? He's got, like, I know the Mandem thing sounds wild, but I think it's just more so of it's more so done, I think, in a positive way, as opposed to like reducing people to just the Mandem. It's a way to kind of encompass everybody. And I'm sure when the event does happen, I'll be very surprised if we don't get any surprises. There'll be a lot of people performing there you probably wouldn't expect him to perform because, or whatever. But I think Drake being as tapped in as he is to the UK scene, I think we're going to see some people perform there we didn't think would be performing. And it's going to give the whole weekend a really nice vibe. You open it up with like a conventional Drake Party Next Door set, similar to what we're seeing for this Some Sexy Songs For You thing that he's doing out there in Australia. And obviously as the weekend progresses, you're going to get a different type of mix up as well going on. You're definitely going to see Gigs. You're definitely going to see Skepta, I'd imagine. You're definitely going to see Dave. You'll definitely see Central C. Already that's a pretty good lineup for just one day on a Saturday. not including what's going to happening with Vybz Kartel and Burna Boy. They'll probably bring out their own guest there on the Sunday. It's going to be lit, man. It's going to be sick, honestly. I'm really looking forward to it. I really fucking am. Another person here says, Drake spent 2024 getting his back kicked in and stomped out by Kendrick. Outcasted by the entire music industry, and the UK decided to reward Drake with a whole weekend of glazing. Although some of that is true, that's just a very pessimistic, cynical way of looking at things. I think so. Even if the first part you believe to be true, he got his back kicked in, stomped out by Kendrick, why can't he then now have a good situation happen or a good event happen by going to a place where he's going to get some love? You're going to Australia where you're maybe one of the biggest hip hop acts out there, you'd imagine, and then you're coming to the UK where a lot of people think really highly of you. Why is that such a bad thing, you know? Especially considering the year he's had. Why would you want to, what's he meant to do, you know? Be at home, licking his wounds, keep dropping diss records for everyone to say they're not good enough. Like, go where you're loved, innit? I don't really have a problem with that. Another one says, whenever Drake needs PR work, he just comes to the UK. It's too easy. First Diddy, now Drake. This country just loves pedophile. What? Oh, because you believe, okay, cool. If you believe the pedophile thing, then I guess you see it as him sort of like trying to resuscitate his image. I don't know. Again, I guess if you believe the pedophile stuff, then you have to believe that Kendrick hits his girlfriend, innit? Or his wife. And again, I don't give a fuck about any of this sort of stuff, but you know, I guess that's how you got to do things. Another person says, what in the capital extra is this? That's a really funny one. But again, it's wireless, isn't it? Like, I don't know what people are expecting. It's a wireless festival. And I think a lot of it comes down to, like, I feel like a lot of people in the UK love to complain, but don't offer any solutions. Like, wireless has been doing this for a long time. I think there was one lineup, I don't know what year it was. There was one lineup where there wasn't many UK artists at all. Or one where it was all male and everyone was complaining. Okay, if that's the case, there's a bunch of people here that work in the industry. There's a bunch of people here that do day festivals or day events. There's a bunch of people here that work in the, you know, in the content business and the entertainment business, whatever it may be. Why don't they pour their resources together and put their own festival on? Why isn't there like a Grime Daily festival? You know, why isn't one of those big channels putting on a festival that would maybe encompass and reflect and be more reflective of the scene and the industry, as opposed to waiting for Wireless that's sponsored by Rockstar? Like, come on, you know? Like, Wireless has always been pretty commercial, but they do a good job, I think, of balancing having international US acts and also having people from here. They balance it pretty well, all things considered. And I feel like if you want something different, offer something different. There's the Skepta Festival that he does, which is, I guess, a different way to go about doing things. But that isn't really, again, a lot of rap. That's mostly like a house thing. But still, there's an option, there's a room, there's space, there's a chance, opportunity for someone to come in and put on a festival that's more reflective of the stuff that maybe we listen to all day to day if you're here in the UK. But no one's doing it. So what Wireless does for the meantime is good, you know, all things considered. But I don't think it's fair to, like, you know, label them a Capital One Extra type of a festival and kind of denigrate what they do when really no one's offering anything else. You know, at least we get something. If Wireless didn't exist, what would we have in the summer? You know what I mean? If you don't want to go to Recess, if you don't want to go to One Way or whatever those type of events are, what else do you have to go to festival-wise here in London that plays quote-unquote urban music? There's not a lot. So, you know, people have to offer another option, I think, and that'll be the best way to go about things. But again, what do I know? Another one says, reducing British artists at British Music Festival to the Mandem is so crazy. It's not reducing, it's a way just to describe. I don't know. Maybe you should just put special guests, special UK guests coming. I don't know what else. Like, the language doesn't really matter. You know what he's trying to get across. Well, the language doesn't matter, it always matters. But you know what he's trying to get across. By saying the Mandem, it's him just using London slang to appeal to people from here and to maybe, you know, be a broad stroke to kind of encompass everybody under one umbrella. And we kind of know who the people are. I already named them. We know who the people from the UK that Drake already loves and has a good relationship with. So I'm sure they'll be performing, plus others. It's not that deep, really. Another one says, the last time the GOAT did Wireless, this one will be special. This is a clip of Drake coming out at Wireless. And honestly, think about it too. This is London, man. We're the home of sing-alongs. We're the home of sing-along crowds, bro. We're enthusiastic festival goers. It's gonna be so fun. Why are people lying? Why are people pretending like it's not gonna be a vibe? We're gonna be singing along to every single bar. We're gonna hear somebody jump on the stage that's from here that we love, whether it's a fucking Chipmunk, whether it's a Wretch Free 2, whether it's a Skepta, whoever else. They're gonna spray one of their bars or one of their records. We're gonna go fucking crazy. Then somebody crazy that we didn't even think of is gonna pop up and we're gonna go fucking nuts. Like imagine if fucking what's his name? If Len gets up there and does fucking Pink Teslas. Are you nuts, bro? Dun dun dun. Like imagine if he gets up there and starts doing Pink Tesla and winding his waist on stage. Randomly. Like that would be so fucking lit. You know it's gonna be a vibe, man. People are lying to themselves. They think it's not gonna be fun. It's gonna be fucking fun.
Say my name and number, but I keep waking up. Told you see my text, baby, please say so. Why am I flash, man? She's still on. Niggas gotta move on my release day.
Love it, love it, love it. Another one says 20 years of wireless and your thoughts was 3 days of Drake. To be fair, that's funny. That's a good way. That's actually a good way to look at it. If you are going to celebrate 20 years of wireless, for it to be Drake, the first thing that comes to mind is a bit wild. It's a bit wild. You think 20 years of wireless should be like 20 years celebration of like platforming, up and coming, or no, platforming great UK artists. Like imagine if they go back and they see, imagine if they go back into their archives of lineups and they see 20 years ago, they gave, I don't know, fucking Dave his first chance to perform. Now Dave's doing, you know what I mean, a headline set. That would be pretty sick, or a headline date. But maybe these artists also don't want to do it. I don't know, man. It's you know, it's difficult. Festivals are difficult, really. They're difficult to make money, difficult to work out. You know, so far, I think this is a good middle ground, personally, for me. I think it's a good middle ground. Another one says, all right, this is the last time I'm going. Big up that person. Another one says here, Drake and the Mandem, that's just Central C. Another one says, Drake, Burna Boy, and Vibes, all on the same day. Magnum in hand. Magnum in hand. Zoom in another hand. Absolutely going crazy. Absolute going flipping crazy. And someone saying Drake ducked Rolling Loud, which I think is pretty cool, to be fair. Rolling Loud, I'm not saying it's a bit lame, but it's also one for like those types of artists anyway. You know, those, you know, the Playboy Carti is no types of likes. Like Playboy Carti is, I think, the #1 Rolling Loud artist. Like he kills it. His Rolling Loud sets are very, very legendary and definitely belong in the Rolling Loud Hall of Fame. Maybe Drake refuses to go Rolling Loud mostly because, you know, give the kids space to do their thing in it, or maybe because he got burned that time at that Tyler Creative Festival. Remember when everyone believed that Frank Ocean was going to perform at at Camp Flogner, Tyler Creative Festival, and then Drake popped out and everyone booed him. Maybe he got burned from that and he doesn't want to be performing in front of kids anymore because he's afraid they might boo him like they did at Camp Flogner. Who knows? But I don't think that him not performing at Rolling Loud isn't a big miss. He performs a lot in America anyway. If you want to see him, you can see him on tour. It's not that big of a deal, I don't think, him performing there. But I think it's a big deal him performing at Wireless because you're going to get a bunch of people from Europe coming over. Maybe international people might also come over. You're going to get him platforming a lot of people from here too. So I think it's going to be fucking sick. Someone quotes a Drake bar that says, same bitches hating going to be at the show. Very true. Another one says, I know UK rappers have already started DMing Drake the eyes emojis for that Saturday slot, which they should. You should. If you've got any relationship with Drake, you should be DMing him the eyes emoji. If I was being selfish, you know who I'd love to see at the Mandem, if under the Mandem umbrella on the Saturday? Asco and fucking M Honcho. If I was being selfish, give me Asco, M Honcho, and Len, and Lancey Foe, and I'm gonna faint. I'm for the faint. Give me those guys, and I'm gonna flipping faint. Give me Fumigaro also, and I might fucking hyperventilate. On God in heaven. It continues. The Mandem Wireless are gonna bring out. That's KG. Allow it. We're not on that. Another one says they said he was finished. They said it's over. They said he fell off. First artist to ever do this. Drake is the greatest. You know, maybe that's a bit too much heavy on the marinades glaze, but still, I love it. Another one says they put Drake over Vybz Kartel. Could they have maybe done a Vybz Kartel thing, but it might end up just being a Vybz Kartel set. You never know. Drake is that kind of a guy. He's that magnanimous. It might just end up just being a Vybz Kartel featuring Drake set. You never fucking know. He might just be the curator, you know, of the days. Who knows? Let's see how it goes. Let's see how it evolves and what we see when it actually happens. Let's not be super skeptical or pessimistic about it. You never know. It might end up being better than what we actually, you know, envisioned. And the fact that Vybz Kartel is on the list anyway is fucking sick, to be fair. Especially because, and I'd imagine too, if you're a festival, you don't want to give him a headline date straight away. You don't know what the appeal is going to be. Yes, he's a big draw in London, but you maybe want to test the waters. And a good way to test the waters is to see how he's going to fare on a Sunday, you know? On a Sunday alongside Burna Boy. How's he going to fare? Obviously, he's going to kill it, I feel like. But that'll be a good way to kind of gauge where he's at. And then most likely next year, you'll see Vybz Kartel do a proper day on that Sunday. Another person here says, last one, whilst everyone is pissed about the Mandem, the biggest cheek is having Vybz Kartel as his special guest. We all know Drake brings the Mandem beg it back. Yeah, I guess. But again, he's the lover of Caribbean music. You know, what you call it? Bashment, all that shit is very popular out there in Toronto anyway. There's a big community of people from there that love that sort of shit. So I'm sure Vybz Kartel means just as much to him as it means to anybody here in London, especially the Caribbean folk. So I'm sure he's going to do that booking or that appearance justice and give Wild Bass the respect that he deserves. So I'm looking forward to it, man. I really can't wait. I really, really freaking cannot wait.